Dillon Gabriel's entertainers versus competitors line was short, but it landed with a lot more force than he probably intended, mostly because of timing and context. In a vacuum, it's a harmless, even sensible thing for a competitor to say. Focus on work, not noise. In reality, it arrived right after Shedeur Sanders' high-profile preseason debut and amid a swirl of fan and media drama about Sanders' draft slide and celebrity. That's why people immediately read it as a shot. Whether Gabriel meant it that way or not, this moment says a lot about the Browns' QB room, how narratives develop in today's NFL, and what the next few weeks will look like. First, perception matters as much as intent. The Browns' QB situation is unusually crowded and unusually public. You have veterans, Flacco, a former first-rounder in a new situation, Pickett, a third-round rookie the team clearly invested draft capital in, Gabriel, and a fifth-round rookie, Sanders, who carries enormous outside attention. When one of those rookies, Sanders, bursts onto national television with 2 TDs in a game that drew huge ratings, the media and public immediately create a narrative of momentum. Gabriel's comment came when the cameras and social feeds were still hot, even if he was literally answering a question about the media, as he later clarified. Fans and reporters were primed to take a competitive barb at face value. In short, the optics were combustible. The spark was inevitable. Second, locker room dynamics are fragile but fixable. Any inter-room friction that starts on social media can be managed internally, and often is. Coaches expect distractions and usually have a plan: redirect energy, hold private conversations, make reps the arbiter of status. Gabriel's comment could be a small blip that motivates both him and Sanders to work harder. It could also mushroom if the coaching staff does nothing and outside voices keep stoking it. The healthiest outcome is a coaching staff that frames this as competition that raises standards, not division to be exploited. Publicly, Stefanski will likely emphasize evaluation and development. Privately, reps and film will reveal whether Gabriel's jab had teeth or was merely theater. Third, the substance of the football matters more than the sound bites. On the field, the comparison is straightforward. Sanders' debut was clean: 2 TDs, no turnovers, showed ability to make tight throws and manage situations. Gabriel's outing was efficient in parts, but the pick six and fumbling handoff are tangible mistakes coaches hate, especially from a guy the team drafted earlier and expects to develop. In a compressed preseason window, turnovers carry outsized weight. Coaches are trying to answer hard questions. Who can protect the football? Who can execute under pressure? Who can take coaching and improve quickly? Gabriel's words won't buy him much if the tape shows costly errors. Conversely, Sanders' injury and limited reps leave plenty of room for the narrative to flip back if he misses opportunities. Fourth, roster math will force decisions and make every rep valuable. The Browns are juggling the possibility of keeping 3 versus 4 quarterbacks, a rare but not impossible approach if they value developmental depth. But preseason reps, joint practices, and the final roster cutdown will determine realities. If Gabriel continues to show consistency and protects the ball, he keeps his job. If Sanders returns healthy and performs again, the Browns may face a genuine problem choosing pickups and cuts. For Gabriel, the smart play is simple: let his work answer the noise. For Sanders, rehabbing the oblique and being available to build on the debut is urgent. Missed reps equal missed traction. Fifth, how the team and media handle the fallout will shape public perception. Reporters and social accounts will keep the entertainer versus competitor framing alive because it plays. The Browns would be wise to manage messaging tightly, emphasize internal competition, praise situational growth, and avoid amplifying sides. If the team prizes culture and cohesion, public scenes have to be contained quickly. Otherwise, the storyline will feed other franchises' trade talks or roster maneuvers. Finally, what to watch next. How reps are allocated in joint practices and the next preseason game, any follow-up comments from Gabriel or Sanders or teammates that escalate or diffuse the moment, and most importantly, who makes mistakes under live pressure. Turnovers, fumbled exchanges, and third down efficiency will be the concrete metrics that override sound bites. If Gabriel cleans up the ball security and shows leadership in team periods, the quote will fade. If Sanders, once healthy, strings together more tape, the entertainer narrative will look increasingly hollow. In short, Gabriel's remark was a combustible line in a volatile context. It's a blip worth noting, not a crisis yet, but it could become one if allowed to fester. The Browns coaching staff and the two quarterbacks themselves will have the simplest path out: handle it like competitors should, by working, correcting errors, and letting football, not headlines, decide roles. Dillon Gabriel didn't shy away from the spotlight after Cleveland's preseason win over the Philadelphia Eagles, and one brief post-game line has ignited another round of debate in the Browns' crowded quarterback room. Gabriel completed 13 of 18 passes for 143 yards and helped engineer a touchdown drive to open the game. But the day wasn't flawless. He threw a pick six to Eagles rookie safety Andrew Mukuba and later lost a fumble on a botched handoff. Still, his on-field work was enough to earn praise and the chance to speak to reporters on the sideline. Asked about tuning out the noise surrounding the QB competition, Gabriel replied, "There's entertainers and there's competitors. I totally understand that. My job is to compete." The clipped line quickly drew speculation that he was taking a thinly veiled shot at fellow rookie Shedeur Sanders, whose high-profile draft slide and impressive preseason debut last week have made him a media magnet. Gabriel later pushed back on that interpretation, saying he was directing the comment at the media circus, entertainers, rather than at any teammate. Several reporters backed his clarification, noting the clip had been shared widely out of context. Still, the exchange only added fuel to a storyline that's already dominated Brown's training camp. With Joe Flacco expected to remain the veteran presence, and both Kenny Pickett and Shedeur Sanders dealing with injury questions at various points in camp, reps and performance in the remaining preseason games will carry extra weight. Gabriel's comment, intentional or not, underscores how tightly wound the competition is and how every, quote, good play or mistake will be scrutinized as Cleveland sorts out its Week 1 pecking order. Dillon Gabriel didn't shy away from the spotlight after Cleveland's preseason win over the Philadelphia Eagles, and one brief post-game line has ignited another round of debate in the Browns' crowded quarterback room. Gabriel completed 13 of 18 passes for 143 yards and helped engineer a touchdown drive to open the game. But the day wasn't flawless. He threw a pick six to Eagles rookie safety Andrew Mukuba and later lost a fumble on a botched handoff. Still, his on-field work was enough to earn praise and the chance to speak to reporters on the sideline. Asked about tuning out the noise surrounding the QB competition, Gabriel replied, "There's entertainers and there's competitors. I totally understand that. My job is to compete." The clipped line quickly drew speculation that he was taking a thinly veiled shot at fellow rookie